Thank you.
2024 KitchenAid Senior PGA Champion Richard Bland is with us now. Richard, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
You told us earlier in the week that you were hoping to make the most of this invite, and now here you are. How do you feel walking out of here with the Bourne Trophy?
Yeah, just trying to just take it all in right now. It's not really sunk in too much. I'm sure it will over the next 2-3 days, but yeah, I'm sure glad I wrote that email in kind of December to Bob Jeffrey, and as I just said in the Champions Toast there, that I actually got an invite to last year. The PGA of America kindly invited me last year, but I couldn't fulfill the obligation of playing. It clashed with another event. And yeah, I checked the schedule at around December last year and saw that it was a free week, and I reached out to Bob, and he came back and said, yeah, we'd love to come have you play. So yeah, so I'm thankful for the PGA of America for that. So, and yeah, they might have my ugly mug around for a few more tournaments now. So but yeah, right now just kind of being pulled a little bit pillar to post, which is fine. But yeah, I'm so happy right now.
That's great. Thank you, Jeff.
Richard, a lot happening fast. What are your initial emotions of winning your first over 50 event?
Yeah, a lot of pride, a lot of satisfaction. One for my brother as well. Yeah, just I didn't. There's a lot of great players out here. So I coming in this week, I wasn't. I was hoping that I had a good enough game to compete, and I'm glad that I've shown that, and obviously to myself for my own confidence going forward. So yeah, hopefully there's more to come.
And to ask you about two moments in the round, how big was the par putt you made to make the save at 14, and then can you take us through 15?
Yeah, that was, I thought I hit the fairway down 14, and then to get there, it just being the rough with a front flag was, it was one of those. Even though I was only 150 yards, if someone had offered me 4, I'd have picked it up. And then to see, Greg hole a 30-footer. After I didn't hit that bad a first putt, but the slope that I had to go across really kind of took the ball a lot harder right than I thought. So yeah, the 8-9 footer that I hold up the hill was key. To go 2 behind there was, probably. I'm not saying that the tournament was Greg's, but so yeah, that kind of at least kept me in touch with him. And then yeah, to probably hit the best 4-iron of my life into 15. It was a little. I had to take a little bit off it and try and hold it against the wind, and it just came out absolutely perfect. And yeah, to roll it in and kind of flip the lead back to me was key with like 3 to play.
What did you have in there?
I think I had about 215. I thought about hitting 5, but 5 would have to go on the wind. And myself and my caddy James, we were kind of discussing both, and he just kind of said, look, it's what shot you see right now. And I just kind of thought that the 4 would be a little bit more in control, and so yeah, it was the right decision.
How long was the putt?
It was about 8 foot, maybe 8-9 feet, maybe. So yeah, so, obviously Greg didn't hit that great a pitch in, so I knew that was going to be key. He probably wasn't going to make 4. So if I could make 3 there and get a 2-shot swing, that would that was going to be huge.
Well, then your approach into 16 was big too.
Yeah.
Tell us what you saw there, what you ended up playing. How
Yeah,
far
because
you
the
had.
weather was getting pretty nasty right then, even on 16th tee. It's not the nicest of tee shots at the best of times. But then suddenly when it starts, the wind was kicking up and it's really started raining hard. I was just get up there and hit it, because it's not going to get any better in the next 20 seconds. So just get up there and hit it. So I wasn't really too worried about, as long as it didn't go left in the water, I didn't really worry too much where it was. But it just missed the fairway on the right there, and I think I had 180. And I just tried to stay aggressive. I wasn't good. I pulled it, if I'm being honest with you. Probably about a yard left of the flag, so I was trying to hit it about 5 yards right of the flag. But again, there I thought if I could just if Greg could see that I had a chance of making 3, it kind of then puts the pressure back on him. And yeah, obviously, what happened then with him, with his chip shot, was unfortunate. It's not something you want to see, but so then obviously you had to wait a while for to hit the putt.
Talk a little bit about your putting from yesterday to today. What?
Yeah, I think as I said earlier, I felt like I putted even in the second round. I didn't putt particularly well, even though I shot 5 under, and I was so frustrated when I finished yesterday that actually the other putter that I bought, I actually went out and practiced with that. I was literally right. I'm going to use this tomorrow. That was it. So I think I was just using a bit of scare tactics on my gamer. But I got here a little earlier this morning and did probably an hour on the putting green with my gamer, just to, sort of kick it up the backside, so to speak, and fortunately it worked.
So the gamer got the message?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. When it got sort of taken out the bag and put in the locker last night, when I went out and putted for an hour, maybe it knew it was in trouble. So, but yeah, I just came out this morning and I just kind of, normally I'd warm up and do a few drills, but I decided not to do that because I knew I'd probably do that well. So I just wanted to I'm just going to hit putts. I had the speed of the greens better today and I hold out well. So, maybe it's got a little bit more time in the bag. We'll see.
And again, you made the putt you made at 14 came after at 13 where you had 3 putts.
Yeah, again there, I kind of thought when I hit my first putt, I thought I hit a good putt. I knew that the last third of the putt would be pretty quick, so it wasn't something that I was going to be running at the hole. And just the pace really surprised me. And then the second putt, I thought I hold it. As soon as I hit it, it just didn't really move. I thought it was an outside left putt. I hit it exactly on the line I wanted to hit, and it just never moved. And so even though I walked off losing the shot to Greg, it wasn't like in my head it wasn't a bad 3 putt. I know there's never a good 3 putt, but it wasn't like I hit a really poor first putt, or the pace just wasn't in the putt. And then all you can do is stand there and hit if you hit your line, then that's all you can do. And I did that, and it didn't go in. So, okay, we move on. So,
could you? Don't want you to get too emotional. We'll talk a little bit about your brother.
Yeah.
His name and
Heath.
And what you found out?
Yeah, he got diagnosed about a year ago now with bowel cancer, and he had chemotherapy and radiology and what have you, but it didn't take away the tumor didn't grow. So he had to have surgery. So he's had his bowel and his prostate and his bladder removed. So he now has 2 colostomy bags. And then, and they put him in remission. And then he went for a scan about 2 weeks ago, and they just saw a little sort of shadow on his lung. And they just said, look, we need to look at this. And it was last Thursday he got diagnosed with lung cancer. So
older brother.
Yeah. So it's we'll find out next week what is next for him. so yeah, I'm just so pleased that I could do this for him. Like I said, this doesn't feel like it's my tournament. It's his.
Did you have a chance to talk with him?
I haven't. No, I'll see him tomorrow. So, but no, I had to call the wife, so she takes priority. So yeah, I'll speak to him tomorrow.
Richard, Tony Paul with the Detroit News. You had the big putt on 14, obviously, and then the eagle on 15, and then the shot on 16, and then the weather.
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, you seized control of the tournament at that point. How did you handle the break?
Yeah, I came in and got some food, and a good friend of mine who we used to play DP World a lot together, Bradley Dredge, was because we were supposed to be going to Chicago together to get the flight a bit later, and Dredge is always great with sort of just with the banter and keeping it lighthearted. So I just had some food, and we were just just calling each other stupid names like we always do. So yeah, it kept me very sort of relaxed, took my mind off it. So when I actually went out to go back playing again, I still feel pretty calm. So and even on 17, it's amazing. Sometimes you think that you've got sort of 2 pars to win a senior major tournament, you'd be quite nervous, but it's amazing actually when you're actually in that position how calm you can be. So yeah, it was good that a couple of my friends were in the players' lounge. I could just chat, and we were talking about Southampton, my football team. They've just earned their way back to the Premiership today in the playoff final. So it's been a good day.
And you said in the Champions Toast that you saw Harbor Shores for the first time on Monday.
Yeah.
What did you instantly like about it? Why did it suit you?
I just think because even though it's fairly generous off the tee, that you still have to put it in the fairway. The greens are quite undulating, and if you just kind of get it a little out of shape around here, you're going to struggle, like I did yesterday. You don't have to be an awful lot off to struggle, because if you just then miss it in the wrong spots, it's almost impossible to get it up and down. And that's kind of how it was with me yesterday. I didn't feel like my swing felt no different to how it felt today. And I'm 11 shots better. So that's what that golf is at times. So yeah, I knew that if you play well tee to green, you're going to give yourself a lot of chances, because there's a lot of sort of short irons into holes. I do a lot of work on my distance control with short irons. So I kind of I was sort of licking my lips in some respects at what I saw. So and I'm glad it worked out.
So Richard, it was kind of a surreal moment as you're walking up to 18 and they get to announce, on your last green. How were you feeling, and can you take us through that?
Yeah, it's I was trying to sort of take it in, but also, I've still got to finish the job. Barring Greg holding it down the green and me tripping over myself. So, but yeah, once I kind of hit the first putt down to a couple of inches, I thought, well, I can take care of that. So, but yeah, it's nice playing, with a 3-shot lead down the last. Once the tee shot was away, then that's fine. I think I can do it from here. But you still just want to finish the job off properly. I know you want to enjoy the walk, which I did, but I'd rather finish the job and then enjoy all this. So, but yeah, it's very special, very special.
Yeah, and James, your caddy, I noticed the first smile you let in that it hit you. The rest of the time, you're keeping your composure and staying serious. So how was that moment between you and your
very
caddy?
good. James is a great caddy. He's been with me this year. We did one tournament last year. We spoke at the end of the year about working full-time this year. So he's very experienced. He's actually caddied a little bit out here, I think, for Rob Carlson a few years ago. So he's got a lot of experience. So yeah, he's not a man of many words. as probably me the same. So, but you know that, we go through it together, and if he says something, then you know what he's saying is going to be relevant. And I know my game inside out, so I don't really need a huge amount of help and what clubs to hit out there. If I've pulled a real bad one, he'll step in, but usually we're pretty much on the same page. So it was great to have someone like him with you down the stretch that he's not panicking even if I am. So he's a calming guy to be around.
When you won the British Masters, it was a really popular victory among your peers out there on the DP World Tour. You were in your late 40s. What kept you going all those years?
I think when I lost my card in 2018, again, probably not a lot of people know this. My brother's had a kind of tough time of it. He was in a coma for 6 weeks over Christmas at the end of 2017 with he actually died twice. When I started back playing in that January, we didn't know whether he was going to survive or not. And it wasn't actually until about July, August that we knew he was pretty much okay. Those first years, those first months of that year, I just wasn't at the races, so I lose my card. But it doesn't make you a bad player. Yeah, I knew that I still had something to offer to the game. It wasn't, a few people told me, "Is that it? Is you going to kind of find something else to do?" But that never entered my head. I was always like, I've still got something left in this game, and I kept working hard. Went back to the Challenge Tour and got my card straight back, and unfortunately, it's been a kind of like an upward trend from there. So, like you say, my school report always said like he was a slow learner. So, I've kind of figured it out in the end, I think.
All right, I'll wrap one with me. Richard, looking way ahead to next year, this event goes to Congressional. Do you have any history there?
No. But obviously I've seen it on TV, with US Opens, when Ernie won and Rory won there a few years back. So, can't wait to get there. So, but I'm going to enjoy this first, though. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of this.
Good for you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Congratulations.